What's up, guys? It's Alex with Wrap Ohio. We have an absolute banger of an episode for you this week. We're going to be wrapping a brand new 2024 Maybach, including door jambs with a gloss black chrome delete and gloss black wheel paint. Then we're going to be wrapping a McLaren 12C, including door jambs with a gloss black PPF roof. We're also going to be wrapping an S580 in matte black. Finally, we're going to throw some matte PPF on a brand new BMW XM and then gloss PPF on a McLaren 720S and a brand new C8 Corvette. Stay tuned.
Starting out with this McLaren, we're going to be wrapping it in this beautiful gloss pearl orange to match the calipers. This is a full door jamb wrap. So when we do full door jambs, that means the entire backside of the door along with the jambs get wrapped. You should not see the original paint color.
All right, guys, so with this 2024 Maybach, we're going to be wrapping this the Satin Vampire Red from 3M. Along with that, we're going to be wrapping the chrome in a gloss black. This is going to be a full door jamb wrap. So with that, we will be taking the doors off of the vehicle, wrapping the inside of the jamb area to make sure there is no original paint seen from the outside of the vehicle. So along with the full wrap and door jambs, we're also going to be painting these wheels here. And then once everything is finished, we're going to be doing a front PPF protecting the front bumper from rock chips, and we will be adding tint to finish it off.
Derek starts by cutting off some supergloss black wrap for the Maybach chrome delete. Supergloss means it has a true reflection and no orange peel, taking away from the final finish. Here he uses a wrap glove before cutting off the excess film, making his final cut and then pulling it away for the final look. Next, he begins wrapping the door in Vampire Red. We're doing the door first because Josh is about to take it off so we can wrap the backside. This car is getting door jambs, so it does include the backsides of the doors and the door jambs. Here, you see just how much stuff gets taken off, just so we can take the mirrors off before taking the door off. This gives us full access and allows us to make it look like paint. Off with the door for the Maybach before moving on to the McLaren 12C. Here he takes off the rear spoiler, giving us full access to the quarter panel and rear hatch. Now that the mirror's been removed, Owen starts wrapping it in Vinyl Frog's Super Gloss Pearl Orange. He makes a relief cut, exposing an inlay that was laid. Inlays are made so we don't overstretch the material. You can see he lays it in with minimal stretch, taking his time so he doesn't leave any adhesive lines, so it has a true paint-like finish when we're done. Fast forward a couple days, Owen helps Derek glass out the Maybach. You can see there's been quite a bit of progress on both the Maybach and the McLaren. While Derek works on the hood, Owen finishes up the hatch on the McLaren. You can see having the spoiler off has allowed us to get full access to this small piece. Having the right tool is absolutely critical. You can see here I take the time to tuck the material, covering the white properly before making my final cut. Derek's actually doing the same thing on a very hard to remove piece. This way he gets the material tucked all the way up in, covering the paint before making his final cut and pulling off the excess. Now that the excess is pulled away, he begins the chrome delete in gloss black, while Owen preps the McLaren for the supergloss black PPF. Supergloss PPF goes on wet, as you see. It's a lot thicker than vinyl wrap, so it does protect against rock chips and other abrasions. At the same time, it has an even deeper gloss, as it's a lot thicker and looks even more like paint. Speaking of paint protection film, it also comes in clear gloss and matte. This BMW XM is in for matte clear paint protection film. Then we're going to send it to Solar Solutions for Rick and Rachel to tint the windows to complete the look. We also just took delivery of a brand new Mercedes S580 in for a matte black wrap. But first, Owen and I have to finish the McLaren 12C. The overall theme with vinyl wrap is to lay it without overstretching it. The material does have memory that's triggered by heat, so if you overstretch it, it'll pull back in the sun in the form of a failure. Here, Owen actually lifts up the material, feeding it into a deep recess to lay it without overstretching it. On the other side of the shop, Derek's keeping really good pace with the Maybach as he preps the front bumper. before he and I glass it out. Good stretch and bad stretch both exist with wrap. Here we're utilizing good stretch as I stretch across lengthwise while Derek pulls widthwise. Utilizing an extra set of hands is always optimal. It enables you to lay the film without over manipulating it along the way. The smoother it goes down, the smoother the final finish will be. Derek lightly heats the area before working it with the wrap glove. The wrap glove's nice because it's easier to get into hard to reach areas that the squeegee's not quite prone to fit into. He works the deepest recess first before working his way up to the headlight. Now, before you say he's cutting the headlight, he's not. He's using just the right amount of pressure and the correct blade to score the material. Trust us, he's not cutting through, and we would know right away if he was. While Derek finishes up the bumper on the Maybach, Owen and I move on to the bumper on the McLaren 12C. This is the last panel we have to wrap before Josh puts it all back together again. Supergloss films are typically pretty thick, and so it's definitely good to use a second pair of hands. You can see we actually pull opposite of each other. I pull along lengthwise while Owen pulls the width direction, up and down. Switching it up a bit, Derek moves on to the S580 being wrapped in KPMF Matte Perfect Black, while Owen and I finish up the McLaren and then move on to the Maybach. We are a high volume shop, so we do jump around from project to project. When some projects near completion, we'll have one of us jump ahead to get a head start on the next car, while the other two finish the remaining job. Derek working through the night to give us a serious head start. You can see his buffer pad's actually wet. We do this to reduce potential scratching. Josh has the doors off the Maybach, so Owen and I can wrap the quarter panel and door jambs tomorrow while he puts the McLaren 12C back together. Derek's not the only one working late tonight. Josh powers through as well, removing key components on the Maybach before Owen and I can begin to wrap the quarter panel and jam tomorrow. Here, Josh disassembles the rear trunk area to gain access to the bolts holding the taillights in. This is going to allow us to get full access when it comes to wrapping it tomorrow. Now that the quarter panel lights are out, he moves on to the lights on the rear trunk. Bright and early the next morning, Derek's back at it again with the exterior wrap on the S580 going in KPMF Matte Perfect Black. There's always time for a quick breather. And then it's back to work. You can see Josh, once again, is disassembling key components so we can wrap deeper to achieve more paint-like finish. Once the S580's apart, he's going to put the McLaren 12C back together. Meanwhile, we send the Maybach over to Excalibur Auto Body for gloss black wheel paint. They take the wheels off the car and then disassemble the tire and the wheel before it goes for paint. While the car's next door for wheel paint, we don't waste any time. Owen starts to wrap the back sides of the doors. You can see just how intricate of a process it is. On the other side of the shop, Derek's moving right along with the S580 wrap, making it look easy. And moving right along to the quarter panel, using the wrap glove to reach the deep recesses. Shout out to Derek, you can see it's dark once again. He's working into the night. This is the second day in a row, and you can see just how much progress he's really made. And here we are the next morning, bright and early, back at it again. Josh begins the reassembly process by putting the side mirrors back on while Owen tints the front headlights. This is going to give it a restored and custom look, setting it apart from the rest. We're super lucky to have Josh. He's one of the hardest working guys I know and has one of the hardest jobs. Reach out to him if you need a good mechanic. A typical brake session at Rap, Ohio. Now we move on to the quarter panel on the Maybach. You can see we have the doors off while we wrap the quarter panel. This allows us to take one solid piece and work it in without a single seam. As I stated earlier, the key is not to overstretch it. This way we start in the middle and work our way from the deepest recess out. After a lot of experience, you find that balance between just enough stretch and not overstretching it. This way you don't have to make a seam and it actually looks like paint. Once you find that balance, you can't beat the finish. Josh just finished putting the McLaren 12C back together. It has a super gloss pearl orange wrap, which means it has zero orange peel. We also wrapped the door jambs, so it really does look like paint. We have matching calipers and a super gloss black PPF roof along with tinted headlights. This thing really does look incredible. Now let's finish this Maybach. Moving right along to the bumper, you can see this is a familiar process. Derek's been maintaining an exceptional pace with the S580. And we brought the window tiners in to tint the Maybach 20% for that custom look. Last panel before we put the Maybach back together, we got the door jamb. This is all in one piece as well as the quarter panel, and this is why it's worth taking the doors off. If it looks like paint, we've done our job. You can see we just got a C8 dropped off, a McLaren 720S in the back, and this Range Rover. The Range Rover is getting a full wrap to satin white, the McLaren 720S getting gloss PPF and gloss black PPF on the roof, and then the C8 going for gloss clear PPF on the whole front end. Before we move on to the PPF, we're going to have Greg from Winter's Tint tint the windows on the McLaren 720S. Meanwhile, Owen starts the matte PPF on the Maybach. We're going to do the whole front end, so that's the whole fenders, the whole hood, the whole bumpers, the headlights, and the mirror caps. This prevents rock chips from chipping the wrap and makes the wrap last a lot longer. PPF is a lot thicker than wrap. It's about 6.5 to 8 mils thick, whereas vinyl wrap is about 2 mils. It's used to block rock chips and light scratches. If they don't go through, they actually self-heal in the sun. While we have our PPF equipment out, I decided to go ahead and lay the gloss clear PPF as well as the gloss black PPF on the McLaren 720S. The high gloss PPF coupled with the gloss clear PPF makes this already astonishing car look even better. The McLaren 720S is one of the most stunning cars on the road. This gloss pearl paint job with the gloss black PPF two-tone really accentuates the body lines. You can see from the side view just how beautiful it is. The interior is also top-notch. These Alcantara seats and door panels are absolutely exquisite. I'm going to stay late tonight to do the clear PPF on the front end of the Corvette C8. This includes the full bumper, the full hood, the fenders, the headlights, as well as the mirror caps. This is to protect against rock chips so you can drive your car with confidence. If done correctly, you won't even know it's there. Now it's time to put the final touches on the Maybach. We're finishing up the chrome delete. This is the wheels, the emblems, and the rest of the chrome. And here we have a 2024 Maybach fully wrapped in vampire red with the gloss black chrome delete. This includes the window trim, the grille, the tops of the door handles, the wheels, the emblems, all went gloss black from chrome, and again with the vampire red wrap, including the door jambs and the back sides of the door. We finished it off with a full satin PPF to protect against rock chips, and then we coated it with the 3-year ceramic coating. That's all for this week's episode, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and for next week's episode, we're going to be tricking out this brand new Lamborghini Huracan Technica. Then we're going to be throwing some gloss PPF on a McLaren 570S and some satin black on a Cybertruck. Don't miss next week's episode. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the drop.